Welcome, Kings and Queens, to another installment in our NBA Contenders Series. Right now, we got the Milwaukee Bucks, who were champions just a year ago.
2021.
Yeah, 2021 NBA champions, home of one of the best players, if not the top 3 player in the world, Giannis Antetokounmpo. To be honest, it's really cut and dry what this team has to do to get to the finals and repeat. Me personally, I think they're a top 3 team in the whole NBA.
Yeah.
It's by the fault of the best player they have, and then all their key players after him are 2A all around.
That's literally why we call them the Raptors on steroids. Simply because the size on this team, Milwaukee's size is ridiculous. You know, I think their shortest player, Javon Carter, he's like 6'1".
And he might not even play that much.
Facts.
Yeah,
Facts.
he gonna play, but he ain't gonna play that much.
Facts. And that's another thing. Their other 2 point guards, Drew Holiday, George Hill, both 6'4" with long arms.
And they're 2A. It's not like they're just a
Exactly.
spot-up shooter or just a defender. They can do everything. They can run a pick and roll. They can do some playmaking. They can,
everything.
You know what I'm saying? They can spot up and shoot. They can do all these various things. The players they lost last year, mainly that played a role. Marcus Cousins did a little bit, but he was in and out. That's the other thing that makes them a top team because they didn't lose anybody. They finished as third in the NBA?
Top 3.
They were top 3. They were third in the NBA.
Okay.
And that's with some injuries throughout the year. In terms of additions for this upcoming year, they've added, I don't know how to say his name, but
Sandro Mamokoshvili. Something like that.
how you say my man's
Sandro
name?
Mamaland.
Sandro Mamaland. Hey, with all due respect, bro, we African, so we can understand how it can be when people try to say your names.
Mr. and Mrs. Omwokwo Popo.
So all due respect,
Thanks.
I got mad love for this man's game. That adds to your point of the size. Drew Holiday 6'4", 200 plus. Chris Middleton 6'8", do everything 200 plus. Giannis, I ain't gotta tell you why they call him the Greek Freak.
Bobby Portis.
Bobby Porter 6'11".
Serge Ibaka.
Serge Ibaka 6'10", 6'11".
Brooke Lopez.
Brooke Lopez 7 foot. Pat Connaughton 6'5".
Oh, Noora.
John Jordan Award 6'9". Joe Ingles, who's one of their big additions, 6'8".
Yeah.
And my guy, how you say his name again? I'm sorry.
Sandro Mama Kashavelli.
He's not on here for some reason. Basketball Reference, update your list. He's a 7 foot all-around player who went to Seton Hall. If you haven't seen him play, go watch him play,
He
please.
played 3-4 years at Seton Hall.
I think about 3 or 4, yeah. So you can tell he developed his skills, and he's a dog. And when you add that to the rookie they drafted, Marjan Beauchamp, he was in the G League at night. He's like a 6'7", 6'8", like a mini. I don't want to say Andre Iguodala, but I'll say like he plays defense and he can have a little bit of shot creation as well, just a little bit.
And he played this past year with Scoop.
Yeah, he played with Scoot Henderson and all them. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So he played really well enough to get drafted in the first round. And this team pretty much, if they stay healthy, Chris Middleton was the difference in the Celtics series last year that they lost. No disrespect to the Celtics series, we already did that, but they should not have lost to the Celtics if they were healthy.
They took you to 7 without Chris Middleton.
Exactly.
Put that into context.
Exactly.
Context matters. Remember that. Context always matters.
And everything in life.
All areas.
Everything in life. So because of that, I think that it's not much you got to do other than stay healthy. They have chemistry. They have no egos. They have great personalities. I don't believe in their coach for real. But he's already got a chip, and if he just kind of leaves things alone and just do a little bit, they can get back to the championship.
He got Giannis. He'll be all right.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what it comes down to at the end of the day. One of the big things to figure out when it comes to the Bucks is their championship window this year is clear. They have a chance to win a chip this year, next year. As long as Giannis is healthy and they kind of have at least 3 or 2 players that are 6'4", 6'5", and can do a lot of things with him. Because the thing that makes Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday special that people don't realize, that goes under the radar, is that they both can dribble, they both can pass, they both can shoot, they both can guard 3, 4 positions. They both have no really holes and weaknesses in their game.
Exactly.
And then neither one of them are selfish. They can spot up, they can play off the ball, they can create their own offense. So that's what makes Giannis the type of player he is with them. This team's such a great thing.
And that's another thing, like with why Chris Middleton's health was so crucial, because especially if we want Giannis to stay healthy, we can't have him doing all that running around, blocking every,
Exactly.
scoring every play.
Exactly. Giannis averaged 30 points a game, and I think the type of player Giannis is, he should not average more than 24 or 25 and let him go all out and everything else.
Exactly. Because he's the type of dude, he could average 25 points, 12, 13 rebounds, whatever, however, 8, 9, 6, 7 assists, but 2 blocks and 2 steals. That's easy, to be honest.
That's way more efficient and powerful to a team than him averaging 30 and then trying to give you whatever energy for the rest of the other stats. So for them to be at their peak, Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton might have to do a little more and build their reps up. And then you throw Joe Ingles as a 6'8" all-around player who can make and play off the ball and play defense. That gives them a level of versatility that can make them a very dangerous team in the future. Now, speaking of the future, like I said, all our teams in this installment, we try to dictate how likely of a chance they have of winning the chip for the next 3 years.
Yep.
3, 4, 5 years, what their window is. And the thing is that Giannis has hinted many times in random ways about leaving Milwaukee. He's made many comments about trying to start a new chapter somewhere else, playing with his brothers. Giannis is the person that we can respect leaving his place because he has won there without anybody coming to save him, without anything being special. You understand? So that's the one thing that can stop them, because we have Giannis leaving at 2026 as an unrestricted free agent. And
that's the end of the Bucks window right there.
That's really probably the end right there, is that period of time. And they might have to trade him. You see how the NBA works. They might have to trade him a year before or 2 years prior to get the maximum value if they know he's going to leave.
Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday by that point will most likely be old and broken down.
Facts.
Depending on who the Bucks bring in, that'll determine Giannis's tenure or if he re-signs or whatever the case may be.
Exactly. Giannis has a chance to replicate what LeBron, Kawhi have done in terms of winning the chip in one place and then going somewhere else and being the backbone of another chip. And I think that that's something that could be pivotal to his career as an elite player of all time. Shaq has done it to take 2 teams to the finals. Very few elite. Kareem has done it. Very few players have done it. And that's one thing LeBron shot for when he went to Miami. He came back to Cleveland, won with the Lakers. That's one thing that he kind of has up over Jordan, is that he showed you how valuable he was by going to 3, 4 different teams and still winning the chip. If Giannis wins the chip this year, and then next 2 years, I could easily see him letting them know that, like, yeah, I am going to leave. Because then he'll have 2 chips, 2 MVPs, 2 Defensive Player of the Year award. Milwaukee can't ask for anything more.
And that's the thing. That'll definitely be interesting to see how they go about it, because Giannis, he's been the greatest player in franchise history.
Facts.
Jersey will be retired in Milwaukee, no doubt.
100%.
So seeing if they were to deal him or to let him walk away, that'd be interesting, because it would show you how the Bucks organization moves. As a franchise, I would not want to trade a player like that. I'll let his contract run through unless he requests a trade.
Yeah, and that's the part where I say I've seen situations where it worked beautifully. See Paul George and the Thunder. Paul George had an agreement that the second he got traded to the Thunder, Sam Presti, which is why I respect him, and every team has taken this as a blueprint, that when you get a player in free agency, and even if you get a player through trade, you make sure you treat your players right, at least through the public spotlight, so that when other players want to come to OKC or think about it or possibly in a trade, they're going to say cool. Because they know Sam Presti is going to create an environment where, like, if things don't go right, we'll trade you. If you don't want to get played and you're trying to just sit back so that we can get you to a contender, we got you. You know what I'm saying? He literally told Paul George and Russell Westbrook when he made the trade, for him to get those 2 players, he told them, look, let's shoot for a chip. Let's try to do the best we can. And if it doesn't go right, I promise both of y'all I'll trade y'all the way I want to go.
That's what you missing, Danny Ainge.
Hey, and that's literally what he told them, and that has created a great reputation. And the reason I'm saying that is that I realize in NBA history, there's been some great trades where, like, the general managers are on the same page or the players on the same page, and they say openly, like, I want to go to this team. See Kyle Lowry. That when an organization is on the same page with a great historic player, there can be an agreement made where we all can win. We can trade you ahead of time. We can get the highest value assets for you. You know what I'm saying? And you're going to be a good sport. You're not going to be like James Harden, put on 30 pounds.
Yeah, exactly.
Or John Wall and say, oh, I got to play. It's not going to be none of that.
Yeah.
So I think the Bucks and Giannis are working towards a good departing. because they know he's not half-assing. He's not like KD and LeBron where he's quitting in the last game of a playoff series and then he leaves.
My man don't even take the summer off.
Exactly. So because of that, I think it's going to be a great transition, and I don't think they're going to have any type of ill animosity in terms of like letting him go or trading him. Just because as an organization with the Bucks, you don't get superstar players,
and especially not one as humble and hardworking as Giannis.
Definitely not.
You can't mess your reputation up.
You got a chip out of this shit.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And you're a finals contender. You done made crazy revenue. So
and you're in Milwaukee.
And that's what I'm saying. So you got to be grateful for what you got. On that note, be grateful for what you have. Milwaukee, this is your chance to show that you're a good organization, you're respectable, that you're not racist down there in Milwaukee, and that you can transition a great player, appreciate what he did for you, and not burn his jersey and not hate him because he wants to leave. So always try to be grateful for everything you have, because there's somebody that will trade places for your bad day in a heartbeat.
100%.
You understand? So other than that, take care of yourself. Make sure everybody around you eats, B.